Now, wasn't that an interesting film?
Certainly, from a psychological standpoint, it raises some interesting questions about the mental stability of the director.
Or anyone who would pay to see that cinematic blunder.
Agreed. The portrayal of violence was entirely unrealistic.
Unrealistic? I want to talk about unrealistic. Don't talk about the violence. Talk about the sex.
How vulgar!
I think I might have liked it if I could figure out what was going on.
Indeed, it was bad luck those plotline holes showed up when they did.
Luck had nothing to do with it. Did none of you deduce that everything in that movie happened for a reason?
Even marriage happens for a reason, but that doesn't mean it makes sense.
That movie made perfect sense.
It
does?
And furthermore, I'm going to tell you how it all fits. In order to help you understand what happened, I shall need to take you through the events of the movie scene by scene.
But that will take hours.
Nonsense. It won't take more than 8 minutes. Follow me.
Wadsworth, what's going on? How did we get here?
By use of jump cuts, of course. Now, the movie starts out with Odysseus nonchalantly riding his bike when he hits a bump in the road. Meanwhile, Willie Buggett, a traveling salesman, is driving along, his car laden with leather pants. As he runs over Odysseus, a pair of leather pants falls out of the back of the truck. Then, the screen fades to black, and we arrive 2 weeks later outside the home of Jogatrude. Willie drives up and attempts to sell her lava lamps, which is the product he sells now since he has run out of leather pants. Which is fortunate because Jogatrude's husband was killed very recently, and the only clue left behind was a pair of leather pants.
But all this came out later, in the kitchen.
You're right. Can I help anyone over here? Can I help anyone over here? I'm a tree crashing down. Tree just fell down. Now, Jogatrude found Willie to be very attractive and gave him some of her famous love potions. They proceed to make love on the table. Little do they know that upstairs, Jogatrude's son Biflet is very much awake and emotionally scarred by overhearing them. Then, we jump forward in time.
Again?
Now, we are in the same kitchen 10 years later. Willie sits at the table and we are introduced to the children he and Jogatrude have had. The twins, Vesta and Rahiliola. And the youngest daughter, Bunnyshy. Jogatrude busies herself at the sink while the others engage in acrobatics. And, to make a long story short,
Too late.
One by one they all abscond, leaving Willie alone.
Stop it!
Then, the doorbell rings.
Doorbell! If we stay quiet, maybe they'll go away.
I'm gonna open it. I have nothing to hide.
Hello, I'm looking for Timothy James Curry.
That would be me.
Oh my god, Tim Curry, it's you! Oh, you were so great in Spamalot. Can I have your autograph?
Oh, certainly. Would you like to come in, officer?
With all the homicidal maniacs? No, thank you.
Is Antigone. She informs Willie of her pregnancy, and they celebrate with intercourse. At that moment, Biflet arrives home from college with Aiden. He is outraged and punches Willie into a dream sequence. After the dream sequence, we return back to the kitchen for dinner. And Bunnyshy sits here, and Jogatrude sits here, and Willie sits here, and Sebesta sits here, and Rahiliola sits here. Biflet stands at the foot of the table, while Aiden sits in the corner looking confused and Mexican. And they all have a roast parrot, and he had a parrot, and she had a parrot, and he had a parrot.
Get on with it.
Despite being warned otherwise, Willie decides to take the family on a cruise. That night, Bifflet is visited by the ghost of his father, who reveals to Bifflet the secret we've known all along.
We have?
And then they all hurry to the cruise ship. Willie addresses the family. And Buddy Shine sat here, and Raheliola sat here, and Sebesta, and... Get on with it! I'm getting there. Now, following Willie's suggestion, they all split up.
That's right. It was Colonel Mustard's suggestion.
You mean Willie?
Yes, of course.
But remember, what happened next? Bifflet tests out the ghost's assertion by having Malvolio Leonius push Willie down the stairs so that he lands right next to a pair of leather pants. Willie's reaction is proof enough for Bifflet. He gives Willie an ultimatum. If Willie cheats on Jokichud again, Bifflet will kill him. Unfortunately for Willie, Antigomu has followed him aboard.
I have a warrant, for your, arrest.
However, he notices that Malvolio Leonius is madly in love with her, so he writes a fake letter from him to Antigomu. His plan works. Bifflet sees this from afar and mistakes Malvolio Leonius for Willie. He shoots him. He has little time to lament that he shot the wrong man as the ship begins to shake uncontrollably.
Warning, robotic prophet proximity alert, Tyrannosaurus is near.
The members of the family are all split up to find their ways off the ship.
I don't like that.
Buddyshine and Moore the monkey confront the prophetic monster and kill him before he can do too much damage.
Excuse me?
Let's ring up some Cheetos. Crap! Raheliola and Sebesta wash up on opposite shores of the same island, both thinking the other has perished. They disguise themselves and offer their services to the leaders of two warring factions, Count Torsino and Princess Gwendolen.
It's a beautiful
They are merely pawns in a larger
morning.
conflict. During the middle of the game, they find their estranged cousin, Sophie Durden, and with her help escape the deadly chess match.
This is incredible.
Not so incredible as what happens next.
Squish, broken
I was
ribs.
talking about the pumpkin,
The twins and their cousin safely leave the island on a transvestite pirate ship.
but then the cousin dies.
This is war, Peacock. You can't cross an ocean without sacrificing your cousin. Any German surrealist sculptor will tell you that.
But look what happens to Joseph Boys.
There's just one thing I don't understand.
One
thing.
If the Republic has access to cloning technology, and midichlorians are simple life forms that determine a Jedi's ability to use the Force, couldn't they have very easily engineered a whole race of super Jedi?
Yes, but the Force prevents Jedi from doing anything George Lucas didn't think of. Now, continuing with the movie, Ada has led Bifflet and Willie to some strange desert. Willie is the first to wake up, and he heads into town to buy himself a bodyguard and hire a bounty hunter to bring Bifflet to him. In the final showdown, Willie reveals to Bifflet that they are brothers before being shot by Aiden and falling into the red Kool-Aid below. Then, the credits roll.
But whatever happened to me? Bunny Shine.
Clearly, that is addressed in the sequel.
You mean there's another one?
Of course. What do you think this is?
I have to admit, I wondered why that camera crew was there.
If that's the cameraman, who's filming now?
Mwah.